Money reflects your inner beliefs, not your outer efforts. This is difficult to accept because the mind loves to blame the world. It feels comforting to say the economy is bad, opportunities are limited, or fate is unfair. But look closely. Two people live in the same city, face the same conditions, yet one grows while the other struggles. The difference is not luck, the difference is belief. From childhood, your mind is quietly programmed. You hear words spoken casually by parents, teachers, society. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are selfish. If you have too much, someone else must suffer. These sentences enter you when you are innocent, when you cannot question. They become invisible rules running your life. Later, when money approaches you, these rules rise like an inner guard and say, you are not allowed. You may consciously desire wealth, comfort, freedom, but deep down there may be shame attached to having more. A subtle fear of being judged. A hidden belief that wanting money makes you greedy or less spiritual. And existence listens to the deepest voice within you, not the loudest one on your lips. Observe how effortlessly money flows toward those who are relaxed with it. They are not fighting it, they are not apologizing for wanting it. They are not feeling guilty about abundance. Their inner space is open. Money enters where it is welcomed. Science now confirms what mystics have always known. The subconscious mind directs behavior. Studies show that most decisions are made below awareness. So if your subconscious associates money with danger, conflict, or loss of love, you will unconsciously push it away. You may miss opportunities, undercharge for your work, delay action, or destroy success just when it comes close. And you will call it bad luck, never seeing the hidden hand, your own belief. Look at people who suddenly become wealthy through lottery wins. A majority lose everything within a few years. Why? Because their inner beliefs were never upgraded. Their mind was trained for struggle, not abundance. The money came, but it felt foreign, uncomfortable. So they returned to what felt familiar: lack. Money is deeply connected to self-respect. If you don't value yourself, you cannot value your time, your skills, your contribution. And if you don't value these, the world will follow your instruction perfectly. The world always agrees with your inner judgment. When you start seeing money as neutral energy, something shifts. Money is neither pure nor impure. In the hands of an unconscious person, even love becomes poison. In the hands of an aware person, even money becomes compassion. Hospitals are built with money. Education spreads through money. Creativity travels because of money. It only amplifies who you already are. The moment you drop inner conflict, the moment you stop fighting money with moral ideas borrowed from others, your relationship changes. You begin to see money as feedback. It shows you where you doubt yourself, where you shrink, where you don't trust life. And slowly, as awareness grows, beliefs dissolve. You realize abundance is not stolen from others. Life is not a small pie. Existence is overflowing. Trees give fruit without calculating. Rivers flow without fear of emptiness. Scarcity is a mental disease, not a natural law. When you align your beliefs with trust, when you allow yourself to receive without guilt, money responds immediately. Not magically, but naturally. Because the outer world is only echoing the inner one. Change the belief, and the reflection must change. There is no other way. You do not earn according to your intelligence, your education, or even your effort. You earn according to the image you carry of yourself. This may sound uncomfortable, but truth often is. Look closely at your life, and you will see it clearly. Your income rarely rises beyond the level at which you feel comfortable receiving. That comfort is not logical, it is psychological. Deep inside, every human being carries an invisible thermostat. It decides what feels normal. For some, struggle feels normal. For others, ease feels normal. When money rises above your inner comfort level, anxiety appears. You may not notice it consciously, but it shows up through strange decisions. Quitting at the wrong time, overspending, trusting the wrong people, or suddenly losing motivation. You call it coincidence, but it is your inner limit pulling you back. If a person secretly believes I am not that important, life echoes back. Then why should you receive much? If someone feels they must suffer to be worthy, they unconsciously reject ease. And money represents ease, choice, and freedom. So it becomes dangerous to the identity built on struggle. Observe how people price their own work. Two people with the same skill ask for different amounts. One apologizes while stating the price. The other states it calmly without explanation. The market responds not only to skill, but to self-respect. Money moves toward clarity and confidence, not talent alone. Psychologists have long observed that children who grow up with emotional neglect often struggle financially later, even if they are capable. Why? Because love and money are linked at the level of worth. If you felt unseen, you may grow up believing you should not take up space, and money is space. It expands your presence in the world. This is why sudden success can feel threatening. You are seen more, you are judged more. You stand out. For someone whose nervous system learned safety in invisibility, money becomes frightening. So the mind creates reasons to avoid it, calling it stressful, corrupting, or unnecessary. Look at how often people say, I don't need much. Sometimes it is wisdom, but often it is fear disguised as simplicity. True simplicity is relaxed. False simplicity is defensive. Your worth is not decided by others, but it was influenced by them. Parents, teachers, society, they pass their own wounds to you unknowingly. A child scolded for wanting more learns to shrink desire. Later, that same child becomes an adult who feels guilty, charging fully, asking confidently, or receiving easily. But worth is not something to earn, it is something to remember. The moment you start honoring your time, your energy, your presence, money responds. When you stop explaining why you deserve, deserving begins. When you stop comparing, receiving opens. When you stop asking for permission to exist fully, life starts cooperating. Notice people who are deeply at ease with themselves. They may not chase money, yet money finds them. Their inner message is simple: I belong here. Existence loves that certainty. Money is not impressed by suffering. It does not reward self-sacrifice. It follows self-recognition. The day you stop negotiating your value internally, the outer world stops negotiating with you. Raise your self-worth, not through affirmations but through awareness. See where you abandon yourself. See where you say yes when you mean no. See where you undercut your own truth. As these knots loosen, abundance does not need to be forced. It arrives as a consequence. You were never meant to survive. You were meant to live. And life always supports those who allow themselves to be supported. Fear is the deepest poverty known to humanity. You may have money in your pocket and still live like a beggar inside. And you may have very little materially yet feel rich because there is trust in your heart. Understand this clearly. Scarcity is not created by lack of money. It is created by lack of trust in life. From the moment you wake up, fear whispers. Fear of losing what you have. Fear of not having enough tomorrow. Fear of being left behind. This constant inner trembling closes your hands. And when your hands are closed, nothing can enter. You may work hard, plan carefully, and calculate endlessly, but fear quietly blocks the flow. Observe how fear shapes behavior. A fearful person clings. They hold on tightly to money, opportunities, relationships. They overthink, hesitate, and delay. They choose safety over growth. And in trying to protect themselves, they slowly suffocate possibility. Life cannot flow through a clenched fist. Trust is not foolish optimism. Trust is a deep understanding that life has supported you again and again. You are alive despite countless uncertainties. Your heart beats without your control. Your breath comes without your effort. Existence has not failed you even when people have, yet the mind forgets this and lives as if disaster is always one step away. When trust is present, the nervous system relaxes. Creativity opens. Intelligence sharpens. You begin to see options where earlier you saw walls. Even modern neuroscience confirms this. Fear shuts down higher thinking, while a calm, trusting state activates problem-solving and innovation. Money flows toward those who can see clearly. Notice the difference between someone acting from fear and someone acting from trust. One asks, what if it goes wrong? The other asks, what if it works? One looks for guarantees. The other looks for possibilities. And money, being dynamic energy, moves toward movement, not paralysis. Many people stay stuck not because they lack talent, but because they wait for perfect security. But life does not give guarantees. Growth always involves uncertainty. Even nature takes risks. Seeds break open without knowing what weather awaits them. Rivers move forward without fearing the ocean. Fear teaches you to hoard. Trust teaches you to circulate. Money is circulation. When it moves, it grows. When it is frozen, it decays. Economies collapse not only because of numbers but because of collective fear. Markets rise when confidence returns. This is visible proof that money responds to trust, not logic alone. Think of someone you know who is financially at ease. Watch their energy. They are not desperate. They are not frantic. They take decisions with a certain calmness. That calm is more valuable than strategy. It allows them to act at the right time instead of the safe time. Trust does not mean being careless. It means acting from clarity rather than panic. A trusting person still plans but without anxiety. They save but without obsession. They invest but without trembling. Their inner message to life is simple: I am not against you. When fear dissolves, receiving becomes natural. You stop fighting life and life stops resisting you. Money begins to come from unexpected directions, not as a miracle, but as a response to openness. You have been trained to believe that fear keeps you safe. In reality, fear keeps you small. Trust allows you to expand. And expansion is the language money understands. Let fear be seen, not followed. The moment you observe it, it loses power. In that space of awareness, trust arises on its own. And where trust enters, flow begins. Hard work has been praised for centuries, almost worshipped. From childhood you are told, work harder, push more, struggle longer, and one day rewards will come. Yet look around carefully. The most exhausted people are often the least rewarded. Something essential has been misunderstood. Effort alone has never created abundance, awareness does. There are millions who wake before sunrise, labor until their bodies ache, and still remain trapped in survival. If effort were the key, they would be the richest people on earth. But money does not follow tiredness. Money follows intelligence, clarity, and perception. It follows those who see what others overlook. Unconscious work is mechanical. You repeat the same patterns, the same habits, the same decisions, year after year. You become busy, but not effective. A machine can work hard. Only a conscious being can create value. When awareness is absent, effort turns into routine, and routine slowly drains life. Observe the difference between a person who works with awareness and one who works on autopilot. One asks questions. Why am I doing this? Who does it serve? What problem am I solving? The other only follows instructions and hopes for security. Money moves toward the one who brings clarity, not toward the one who merely follows. In business and innovation, this is clearly visible. A small team with a clear idea often outperforms a large workforce with no vision. Technology has proven this again and again. One conscious idea can replace the labor of thousands. This is not injustice, this is intelligence responding to intelligence. Awareness also means knowing when not to work. The unconscious person is afraid of stillness. They feel guilty resting. They equate busyness with worth. But in stillness, insight arises. Many of the most valuable ideas in human history were born in silence, not in exhaustion. When you slow down inwardly, you begin to notice patterns. You see where energy is wasted, where time leaks, where effort does not translate into results. This seeing itself becomes transformation. You start doing less but achieving more. And money loves efficiency. It is attracted to those who respect energy. Think of an artist who creates a masterpiece in hours that sells for a lifetime of labor. The value is not in the time spent, but in the depth of presence. The same is true in any field. Presence multiplies impact. Modern research supports this ancient insight. Studies show that mindful decision-making improves financial outcomes. Leaders who act with awareness take fewer impulsive risks and recognize opportunities earlier. Awareness sharpens intuition, and intuition is a powerful guide in uncertain environments where logic alone fails. Hard work without awareness breeds resentment. You feel used, unseen, underpaid. Awareness without effort becomes fantasy. But when effort and awareness meet, work becomes play, and play becomes prosperity. Money is not impressed by how much you suffer. It does not reward sacrifice for its own sake. It responds to value created with clarity. When your consciousness rises, your work naturally becomes more aligned, more impactful, more valuable. The shift is subtle but revolutionary. Instead of asking, how much more can I do, you begin to ask, how deeply can I see? And in that seeing, the entire game changes. You move from survival to creativity, from repetition to innovation, from struggle to flow. Money follows that movement naturally, effortlessly, as a shadow follows a walking man. When you fight money, money fights back. When you worship money, money enslaves you. But when you understand money, something relaxes within you. Peace is the missing ingredient in most financial lives. Not more effort, not more strategies. Peace. From the beginning you were taught extremes. Either money is everything or money is something shameful. Both teachings are violent, both create inner conflict. And wherever there is conflict, energy leaks. Money cannot stay where there is tension. Look closely at your inner dialogue. Do you feel anxious checking your bank balance? Do you feel guilty spending on yourself? Do you feel superior rejecting money or inferior wanting it? These reactions show an unfinished relationship. Money has become emotional, not practical. Peace comes when you see money as a tool, not as a measure of your worth. A hammer is neither holy nor sinful. In the right hands it builds a home. In unconscious hands it can destroy. Money is the same. It only magnifies your awareness or your lack of it. Observe people who are calm with money. They are not obsessed. They do not constantly talk about it. They use it when needed and forget about it when not. Their energy is relaxed. And because of this relaxation, they make better choices. They don't spend to impress. They don't save from panic. They move with balance. Modern behavioral economics confirms this. Financial stress reduces cognitive ability. An anxious mind makes poorer decisions, even with the same intelligence. Peace restores clarity. Clarity improves outcomes. Money flows toward clarity. When you stop chasing money, you start attracting it. Chasing creates desperation. Desperation clouds judgment. Attraction comes from alignment. When your work, values, and actions are in harmony, money follows naturally. There is a deep paradox here. Those who need money too much repel it. Those who don't cling to it receive it. This does not mean becoming careless. It means removing emotional dependency. Money is needed, but it is not your oxygen. Life will not stop without it. And knowing this truth gives you power. Peace also changes how you receive. Many people block abundance because they don't know how to receive without discomfort. Compliments make them uneasy. Gifts make them suspicious. Help makes them feel weak. Money feels the same way. If receiving feels unsafe, money will avoid you. One allowing yourself to receive is an act of trust. It says, I am part of this existence. I am allowed to be supported. This single shift opens doors effort never could. When peace enters, generosity arises naturally. Not forced charity, but joyful sharing. And generosity creates circulation. Money that circulates multiplies. Money that stagnates rots. This is not moral teaching, it is simple energy dynamics. Look at nature. Everything flows. Rivers, winds, seasons. Nothing clings. Nothing hoards. When humans hoard, fear is present. When humans flow, trust is present. Money follows the same law. Making peace with money does not mean having less ambition. It means having clearer ambition. You no longer want money to fill an emotional hole. You want it to express your creativity, your intelligence, your contribution. And the moment money is no longer an enemy or an idol, it becomes a friend. A quiet, useful friend that comes when needed and goes when its work is done. In that friendship there is ease. And in ease life begins to cooperate in ways you could never force.